So we created a chicken crackling product, like pork scratching but chicken.
I had it.
It is great. 3 revenue streams out of one product.
We used to trim the bone off, and then we used to make a chicken lollipop. When our demand did increase, we just couldn't get the food out and keep up with the demand. We flipped to takeaway style packaging, and that just worked so well, so quick.
So create your own protein, your own base, your own sauce combination. So it opens up a massive world of opportunities. When TikTok came about, it was an opportunity to show the restaurant in the 3rd dimension. Not only can you become a chef by creating your perfect dish, you could also become an influencer.
We're the most restaurant people.
With the physics degree, every day we're testing and researching and experimenting, and you write a hypothesis, you create a prediction, you test that prediction. Does it work, or do we adapt?
Welcome to Hungry. Hungry is the podcast for challenger hospitality and FMCG founders who want to pour gasoline on growth. Each episode, we dive deep with the industry heavyweights: Rory Sutherland, Seth Godin, Jamie Lang, Spencer Matthews, big chefs like Tom Kerridge, Michelle Roux Jr., founders from massive brands like Soho House, Tony's Chocolonely, Trip, Waitrose, Vita Coco, and tons more banging brands. Each episode, we dive into the real stories, the chaos, the sleepless nights, the hard decisions, the glorious triumphs, and we dive deep into the gut-wrenching failures and the big mistakes so you can avoid them. Expect a wild, delicious roller coaster of free-flowing conversations packed with genuine, banging insights that are going to move the needle for your business. If you're ready for it, if you're hungry, buckle up, strap in, and let's feed your hunger. How did you guys meet?
I came for food. I literally came. Someone told me about Wing Wednesday. I came from Liquid Wings back in the day, and then I came for a Saturday night on my girlfriend might say it, but a date night with another girl. And it was the most chaos, fun night I think I've ever had in my life. It was. They had a band playing at the bottom of the stairs. Back when it was just the other side of the restaurant, the small side, they had a band playing at the bottom of the stairs, so the waiters couldn't get up and down the stairs to bring food out. My table was delayed. It was just pure chaos, but like the most fun restaurant I think I'd ever been to. And then on top of that was the food, the drinks that went with it. And I had my first oyster here. It was just like such little things. I was like, you know, if I was going to do a part-time job on top of what I was already doing, that'd be such a cool place to be and such a fun place to be. Yeah. Didn't particularly have a hospitality background. I'd done anything other than pulled a few
You had a
pounds.
hospitality business, though.
Yeah, I had a hospitality business. I had like
business
it was like it was a coffee shop cake kind of sandwichy thing, right, with homemade breads. But like back in the day before homemade breads was like such a big thing, I kind of
was that based up in Leeds? Or was
back up north. But I think I was maybe ahead of the time that it hadn't caught on, and it was just. And then there was all the financial crisis. It was just not a great timing, but you know, so I had that background in it, but not really kind of waiter and that kind of experience. So I just. It wasn't about that. It was more about having the right people, fun people, people that could talk to customers, people that you could engage with and sell food. And that was kind of a nice thing with it.
And then it was interesting how Phil became totally immersed in the business. So I found out he was working in a different industry while he was working here part-time. And I found out while I was at my other job at the time that he was going to come out of that. And I knew he wouldn't just totally immerse himself in the restaurant. Because I knew that wasn't, I sort of roughly knew that wasn't it. That wouldn't be his bread and butter. But so I looked for an angle to sort of hook him in, and the angle became a byproduct when we was at a chicken wing festival. We had a massive queue, so and we couldn't get through the queue quick enough. But we wanted to feed the queue, so we had some chicken skin. So we created a chicken crackling product, like pork scratching but chicken.
I had it. It's fucking.
It is great. Well, partly the reason it is great is because we worked on it in Phil's apartment. I said, look, come, we're going to open an offshoot of this business as a chicken crackling company. So that's what we worked on initially. So we developed that in Phil's kitchen. Yeah. Like so many iterations of the chicken skin as it is now, with all different flavourings and seasonings and techniques to make it crisp and
drying
crunchy
it, brining it, frying it, different temperatures, different combinations, flours, corn flour, just all different.
So the game. Essentially, Paul Boys was up and running 6 months in. Yeah. You're working in recruitment up in Leeds, and we talked about that previously. Yeah. You're like, so Abs, you're like, right, this guy's Phil's amazing. Yeah. Let's get him involved. Let's do the chicken skin business and turn that into almost like a retail product.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
That was the plan.
That was the plan. Yeah, but I love it. Like
it was a 50-50 role. I was doing business development out on the road. We'd go around Dalston. We'd go around Post Ballum, selling
selling it in like
buckets of
like
chicken
buckets
skin.
of chicken
Like,
skin.
Well, as like a retail place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
selling to pubs.
Into indies or into pubs?
Just pubs. Walking to pubs with it, let them taste it, give them some samples, hook them, get them to buy the product, and start supplying them. Took them to farmers markets. Did all sorts. I mean, it's just such
and
a
then
wasted
the requirements
product.
of the restaurants change in terms of.
Is that still going, that part of the business?
No,
Well,
we run out of.
we can't create enough to do that and supply the restaurants.
It's a really interesting point, like, because I think sometimes in business, I think we were talking about before, is you've got to deal the cards you're dealt with at that current period in time. Yeah. And what I don't like about all these big strategies is like, let's look into 3 years' time, and we're going to make this game plan. This is where we're going to go. And it's like, well, you don't know what's going to happen. And a guy called John Hegarty, who's a genius marketeer, he like almost built Levi's. He came on the podcast. He goes, you don't need a 5-year plan. You need a 5-minute plan.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah, you should plan into the future. I appreciate planning is really important, but like as you say, it's like you don't know what's gonna. You have to be able to move and adapt. And we're experiencing this now. Like we're doing way more events. Like you've got to sort of change.
Yeah. I come with a structure. I'll come with a day and a plan, and I'll have a week structure, a day structure, know what I need to do and what I need to achieve. And there's some things that are negotiable, some things that aren't. And on a daily basis, there's stuff I have to do. One email can change that whole day. One conversation can change that whole day. One interaction with a member of the kitchen can just completely change how that day was supposed to be into something completely different. Yeah. And that's the beast of hospitality. It just changes.
I always think of this idea of like macro focused, micro scatty. So like in the day to day, you're all over the shop.
Yeah.
So what are the non-negotiables you guys put in place to make sure you're delivering the Poor Boys brand just the Poor Boys brand?
Consistency.
Yeah.
Like it's making sure that our product's the same, and we've even tried to break our product down and pull it backwards and have a set recipe that we can roll out as a recipe, but just not possible. We've tried it, and
what do you mean, as in like
just like the way we make a mac and cheese ball, the way we make a brisket donut, it's all done. As much as you want to have a set recipe and set ingredients that go into it, we know the core ingredients, but it changes depending on the fatness of the brisket, the taste of the brisket, and all that stuff. So like even just a little development of a recipe is almost impossible because quantities change. Like they'll measure a handful. His hand's bigger than mine, so there's a different handful.
I think I have like my sort of like I have like family principles that I try and instill in the kids, but I think it comes into the business a lot. So I think like it's like 3 PPA, so passion, persistence, and adaptability.
Yeah.
So having that passion like that, like it's hard like to keep pushing and making sure you want to create that good product every day. Like the brisket donuts are tough to make. Like the brisket, like we come and the smell of the brisket in the morning when you come in every day and
morning, man, it's
breakfast, you know.
and
it's like Narnia.
And that brisket donut was it was an offshoot product. It was initially created so that we could have a waste product from the brisket that we didn't use from the day before, but actually very quickly it became such a iconic product. We had to start cooking briskets just for the brisket donuts. So I'm like intensifying them flavors and then like it's even talking about the brisket donut. It became so. I think it's fair to say barbecue is such an inconsistent product in terms of like smoking it and like to get that crust and everything, and then barbecue dries out so quickly. To get a consistent barbecue product and the elements of the fire and the wood and stuff, it was about trying to create like this incredible bite of barbecue flavor and barbecue texture in a sort of consistent, safe way, and that's what the brisket donut became. So say if you're like sometimes there's a stigma attached to smoke. I don't like smoked foods. So we stayed away from being a smoked barbecue type concept or flavor profile. And then the brisket donuts was a sort of safer thing for everyday people to get into the barbecue.
Gateway drug.
To get into the barbecue obsession. And that's what the brisket donut, I don't know if you've had them.
Yeah.
Had them, yeah.
So to get into that, to get that, capture that barbecue flavor and that barbecue texture and But it's hard. It's really hard to get that and continue to push that.
So that's the consistency. So passion, consistency, adaptability.
Persistence. And adaptability. Like,
Yeah, talk to me about the adaptability and persistence. Because I know, like, okay, maybe we can. And this, as I say, this will jump all over the shop.
Yeah.
Free flowing as hell. So maybe we go back to the chicken crackling.
Yeah.
So you're going around Balham, going around Dalston.
Yeah.
You know, I love like that as a concept. Amazing. I think I was telling my friend Lukey, who runs Speedboat in that Thai restaurant in Soho. He does his own crackling as well. It's like with a cold beer.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
mate, it's a different level. Orgasmic. It's so good.
Yeah.
Use the first half of the word, and it's almost like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's fair to reference that, but you know what I mean. I feel that strongly. It's that good.
I test it pretty much every day. They come down fresh from the kitchen, and every morning I'm eating them. I'm like, this is like, it's 10 o'clock and I'm eating chicken skin for breakfast. But like, it's one of the products that, especially for me, the Louisiana hot one, the buffalo type one, that's my favorite one. That's the one we developed. Like,
and we actually got a great taste award.
Yeah, we got a great taste award. Come on, it was a great taste.
So you were making these and they were in like buckets.
These little buckets. We was hand stickering them, filling them up. And then doing a bucket of buckets and just taking these chicken cracklings, these buckets of buckets to pubs and selling them. And then weekly orders. We used to do like 3 or 4 different flavors, but the 2 that stuck was the barbecue and Louisiana hot. We used to do just a sea salt one. And then we did a salt and vinegar one. Salt and vinegar one, the vinegar powder just didn't quite work. It made it soggy, so it took away from the product. So we scrapped that one. But initially the idea was to try and follow that Pringles flavor. You know, like everyone loves the Pringle and their Pringles flavors. It was trying to like, can we replicate something along the lines of their flavors into a chicken skin? Because nobody was doing it. Nobody's doing a chicken skin. You go into any supermarket, any farmer's market, it's pot scratchings for days. It's just one flavor. You don't get a different flavor pot scratching, and you get the inconsistency. With a chicken crackling, every
it's a light
mouthful,
crunch. It's so much more palatable. Like
so good,
the experience of eating it.
Yeah, and
it's so good.
And it slides into that kind of almost healthy snack-ish. It's similar properties to like olive oil, so it's got that kind of healthy-ish. You know, the people on the
connotation of it.
Like keto diets, people and stuff like that. It falls into the keto, so you know it's got a level of kind of a bit of a healthier vibe to it, and it's chicken skin, and it's just it was that waste product. We used to buy chicken. We used to buy the chicken Supremes with a little drum on. We used to make it.
We love the French cornflake Supreme.
Yeah, chicken Supreme is bang because you get the bone, keeps the richness. That's why the juices in it, and it keeps it moist and fresh.
Yeah. We used to trim the bone off, and then we used to make a chicken lollipop. So we used to flip that on itself to make a chicken lollipop, so that wasn't wasted. We then used to take the skin off, make the chicken skin. And we used to love that because it made the cost that breast affordable throughout the restaurant on the byproducts.
Three revenue streams out of one product.
So what? So the
Supreme,
skin,
you have the wing, the lollipop, the skin as the crackling, and the breast as the tenders, or whatever makes the sandwich.
Interesting.
So
that kind of links to that sort of persistence and adaptability.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you take something and
it's sort of like
3x
that concept of nose to tail, but without sort of like, it's not really nose to tail, it's nose to tail of what you've got. An element of it.
It's a nose to tail to revenue. It's basically it is. Because I think a lot of people, you can have all those blasphemous me saying that, but like it's like the other point is like, how do you actually make money? Because restaurants are so hard. It's like nose to tails. It's like it might be great with some, the rock starification of chefs, of people who want to be like Marco and all that.
Yeah.
Actually, where I think the delicious bits of wisdom here, mate, is it's like, how do you actually turn that into free revenue stream?
We used to rip the skin off it, just go in the bin. I was like, what are we doing? It's just madness. But we've never kind of cut back on the cost of the quality of the ingredients. That's been one of the biggest things we've always done. And it is to the detriment.
Isn't that the biggest mistake you've done?
No, it's not a mistake. It's because that's the reason there's a queue, I think.
No, sorry. You're saying you did cut down?
No, we don't.
You've never cut down. Okay.
Yeah, we never.
You've got the same
scrimp on the quality.
We've changed. So from the chicken spreads, we moved away because it's a bit of that yellowy kind of colour in there that it just wasn't long term. Customers ask questions: why is it yellow? Why is it this? Because there wasn't really used to having that as a fried chicken.
Product,
and it was too small. The size of it.
Another thing, the Europe thing. There was come out of the corn-fed chicken comes from France, so then coming out of Europe, and then
there's a big thing with the bird flu,
and then sustainability. So, in terms of the transportation, the the carbon cost of bringing stuff from abroad as opposed to bringing it from like farms in Yorkshire now. And the process is, it's finding a farmer who will help us prep the chicken, and like our farmer from Yorkshire loads our fridges for us. Like he puts the chicken in our fridges, which I love that. Like that's amazing. So on a Monday, the birds are in the field. They're butchered and then cut, and then on a Tuesday, that chicken that was in the field on the Monday is now in our fridge on a Tuesday, ready to be prepped and cooked for service.
Yeah.
Like, that's a crazy, over like half a ton a week of
That's mad.
chicken.
Yeah.
Like that's such a crazy concept.
600 to 1,000 kilos a week, depending on the week. And you know that the little love story we have behind it, I kind of love. Like we know the farmer, we know his wife, you know, his kids. We've got a personal relationship with the farmer. The farmer also buys the feed for his chickens, which is herbs, from his sister who has a herb fed farm just down the road. So all that little love story that goes into it, we love the fact that, you know, we know the farmer. It's not just coming from a chicken farm. It's coming from a chicken farmer we know. It's coming from a field that we can see. You know, you can see on Google Earth. You can see the field. You can see the chickens in the field. You can see the little hen runs and everything. It's just such a nice little love story.
We don't market the fact.
Yeah, I was gonna say
we don't market that it's free range or the quality of it.
Why don't you?
I don't think
It doesn't fit in with. We've never sort of identified or resonated that fits in with the customer base that we have, or that we're going for.
Yeah.
Okay, talk to me about that, because that's interesting. Because like on the one side, that's a very brave, bold move. Because when this is, I believe, and this is not true about this place because I've eaten here, but with that type of food, almost mass market food for the poor boy food, like food for everyone.
Yeah.
There is a massive massive truism that a lot of it is very poor quality.
Yeah.
But you know, there's enough sort of, you know, you put enough fucking spices on it, put enough blah, 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 and it will taste good. When I came here and we were talking, mate, you got the same butcher as the Devonshire and the Guinea Grill.
Yeah. Absolutely,
And so it's like that, like, and I thought, what, how come you guys are not shouting about that? Like, because on the one hand, people are like, you know, if you look at these businesses, you know, a lot of restaurants you go to, and it will say Sutton Woo or Sutton Hoo, Suffolk, you know, chicken on the menu.
Yeah.
They're shouting about their ingredients, or the chocolate will be like, oh my God, what's the big chocolate brand that everyone uses that talks about, otherwise my friend's business, Island, but also, anyway, a chocolate brand that's on the menu.
Yeah.
I was like, you guys are using like proper good gear. How come you're not shouting about it? Like, just talk to me about that decision, because it's really interesting.
I think that the only other time I've had this conversation is with Tom brought a guy. Tom's our social media manager.
He's been with us from very early.
From early days.
From 3,000 followers up to now.
So what are you on now? It's like
172.
That's just on
Instagram.
And then similar on TikTok.
Yeah, so
oh wow.
we just keep floating with 173, and it just keeps going there and back. It's just annoying. So
Yeah.
But
then so what's the strategic marketing decision?
Well, I wouldn't be bold enough to say it's strategic. I think the reason why we use one is it's that, like, we talked about it recently when we come to work. Like, ultimately we come to work and we want to do a good job. We want to do a good product and be confident in what we do. So using that level of product, we can feel confident that ultimately, like, at sometimes the core of it is just chicken and chips, but it's the best chicken we can get.
Yeah.
It's the best potatoes we can source to make a great product or great plate of food. And there's just the situational factors that hold you, as well as sticking to them core principles. The size of the wings, so the chicken is free range and free roaming. But the reason we stick, one of the reasons, as well as sticking to core principles, is the size of the wings on free range birds, and people like a big chicken wing.
Yeah.
So that helps us stick to that supplier. It ticks a box there, as well as it's in the field on the Monday, all them things.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of not marketing it, we just identify. Well, we've not identified. We feel that it's not the type of business, and the customer base is like, the reason people are coming is they're not looking to go to a place that like we're not leveraging off our suppliers to give people a reason to come.
It's so interesting, right? So I had a brand strategist on the podcast, and he's been doing some work with Hungry as well.
Yeah.
And have you seen the brand Bold Bean Co? It's in the supermarkets. It's becoming really big, and basically he was saying when you go to brands and products and stuff, you can talk about so many great things you do. You know, you can talk about. There's almost like a buffet of things you can talk about. The issue is everyone. He was saying he works at Uncommon. It's a big agency.
Yeah.
And he's a genius brand strategist. And he was like, well, actually, the issue is if you try and shout about everything, you become lost. And Bold Bean Co, they had sort of three things they could talk about. One was like saving the planet with the soil stuff. Like, you know, so they could have shown images on their Instagram of, you know, beans and soil and stuff like that. The other one was sort of like more the health angle, you know, so like beans are healthier, they're lower carbs, you could do fitness stuff. Or the other ones is actually beans are just really delicious and can, you know, so they came up with this whole campaign. They sacked off the farm stuff, they sacked off the health stuff, and their whole campaign was making giving you the best of beans to make you obsessed with beans. I think it's
I like that, yeah.
but it's like again, and it's I suppose linking it to your stuff. It's like customers are probably, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but they're not coming. They don't care whether, in the nice possible way, they don't care if it's a Sutton Hoo chicken. They don't care if it's from the Guinea Grill, the same butchery. But when they do come, it's like bang, like the taste is so fucking good.
Yeah. But I think from our side as well.
Like, I think that's a really great point and probably resonates with us that we're getting people here for flavour.
Yes.
And Southern style hospitality and portions. That's why people are coming. And the exciting offering of the product.
Well, as in the big portions of why
Big portions, yeah. Southern. You go to America and you think, oh, I want to. So when you come here, we're trying to transport you to America to get that Southern hospitality and that Southern style eating and experience. Bold flavors, comfort food. So they're the core principles we're trying to push home and hit home and get that message across. Like we're developing our loyalty app at the minute.
Yeah, that's in progress.
Some of the tags we were talking about yesterday. And
how did you? It's because I've just been in Nashville. We just did a podcast in Nashville.
Yeah.
Mate, the portions there, man,
insane.
It's fucking wild. Like, and I'm a glutton. Like, I can eat. I can tuck it away like a dumpster truck quite easily. But the even like the bougie places, like even their sort of small places that we went to are like they're like gargantuan portions at a small plate restaurant, which is hilarious. But so that's so interesting. So you believe out of the priorities of your consumer, it's Southern hospitality, fun, big portions, and actually where that chicken comes from is kind of nebulous. But when they eat it, it tastes, which we have. Is, okay.
I think.
How do you guys get to know your customer better? Is like anything systems you put in place, or is it just
our staff? So.
And
coming back to the chicken side of things, though, like one of the things I think is you want to be proud of the product you put out. You want to be able to talk about the product. And when people do ask, I want the staff to be proud of what they're selling. So if somebody does ask about a chicken, where it comes from, people do care and people do ask. On the whole, most don't. But if the ones that do ask the question, we can tell them a really good love story.
With confidence.
Do you know what I mean? So we can tell them where it's come from. We can tell them farm to fork. We can tell them all the stuff they want to know. And the majority of the 90% don't really care, but the ones that do care, you were really proud about a good product. And I think that's one of the big things. Like, I think as any restaurateur, any chef, you don't want to put out rubbish. You want to be proud of what you're serving. If you can, even though it is fried chicken and chips, dull it right back. We are doing hand-cut potatoes every day. We're getting sacks of potatoes delivered, hand-cutting them, cooking them.
We had one influencer come once, a really funny guy.
Crazy guy.
I'd followed him before he come, and when he come, I was buzzing, like so excited. He's obsessed with the chips being salted, and he was just he salted them, and so he'd always mention it. And one of the first things he checks when he goes to a place is the chips, and he was eating the chips, and he was looking at me from behind the camera, and he was like, "What is on these chips? I don't know. They've done something to this." And he was like, "Oh, boss man, what have we done to these chips? Why are the chips?" And what he couldn't understand is they're real potatoes.
Yeah.
Where we'd eaten, they were obviously frozen chips. And he couldn't. And I was like, "They're just potatoes, man." And he was like, "What? What do you mean?" I was like, "It's just a potato to chip. So that's why it tastes unfamiliar."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's because and again, there is a conception about these sort of places across the country when you sort of see the Instagramification of food, is that sometimes you go there and it's a bit vacuous because you actually eat and you're a bit like, oh, it's stodgy. Whereas this is a complete antithesis to that, and it's like you can just it's a potato roll. Do you know what I mean? It's
when we turn up at events. You find that the other traders are just like
25 kilo sacks of potatoes into an event, and some events we can take a ton of potatoes, some events we take in
and they're looking at
500
like,
kilos carrying these. Like, you're there cutting them by hand out the back and then doing the first cook and then getting them chilled ready for service, and people are like, what are you doing? And they're just slicing a bag open and serving. You're like, oh my god. And it's the same price point, but like for us it's the pride of the products we give in, and we don't want to cut back. We don't want to like give people like I don't know, just
you want to be able to go to bed at night knowing that you're doing the right thing.
In the morning,
yeah.
It's hard, right?
It's hard, yeah.
And there's a cost, always a cost.
Yeah.
But that cost I think outweighs. There's a queue for a reason. There's people coming back, new customers coming all the time, people traveling, return customers all the time, and I think all of that comes back to the product. The way it's cooked, the love that goes into it, and like all the effort that we do behind the scenes that people don't realize. A lot of restaurants will have microwaves in the kitchen. You've been in the kitchen, there's not a microwave. Like everything's being made fresh on that day. Everything's being made today for tomorrow. Everything's being made today for today. Like sauce are made daily.
Loads of butter, loads of honey. Like all the cool,
we'll get onto the kitchen because that's a wonderful story in itself. But I want to go. So we're now 2026. 2017 was when it opened.
Roughly around there.
Yeah. And so would you kind of in that period, now there's long curling, winding, snaking queues of, people feverishly, excited to come in here. But like in those early days, like how are you getting punters in here? Where we are in Kingston, obviously, so I used to come out here and get smashed up because, we used to go to Oceana.
Yeah. That's what Kingston is.
Yeah. It's hilarious. And actually, my mum used to take me to the Byron Burger when I was did my GCSEs and shit. Yeah. So I know this area. Where we are is down quite a secluded place.
There was nothing down this alleyway.
Nothing.
Was it? The coffee shop I think was
here. It
It
just stayed quietly ticking over for the early days.
Yeah, but how did you get people in? So, like, what were you doing in those?
Whatever restaurant did, go to the marketplace,
taking samples out,
and just friends and family, and trying the food to be as good as it can be.
We used to give out samples in the market, walk the marketplace, talk to people. Service has always been kind of a family style service here. So like I worked in the service, so I saw it from day one. It was like, when that customer does come in, sit with them, explain the menu, spend the time, kind of give them the love that they want. Do what other restaurants aren't doing. Get rid of that cold service. It's about, you're coming into a house, you're part of our family kind of thing. It was all about that back in the early days. And then once people tried the food, had the food, they was like, look, I know someone's going to love this. And it was recommending.
And then it was taking the food out to people that got the further afield. So our circle expanded. So people from that wider circle started coming to us.
What were the actual products you were taking out?
The deliveries and stuff. But, in the street, we'd take out a piece of chicken, we'd take out a piece of shrimp. We'd always give... First-time customers would give them a sample oyster, try an oyster. Cause it was always like but maybe tables a little bit late or a bit behind. We'd give them something, a little hook. But it was just getting out, giving people, letting them try stuff. And I think it's back to the consistency. Being open every single day. What you tend to find with a lot of restaurants, if they're failing, or a lot of restaurants when it gets quiet, is they start chopping and changing their opening hours. They start getting inconsistent. Like you see restaurants now that aren't as busy, and you'd be like, oh, what's going on? Are you busy? No, I'm not busy. We started shutting early on Sundays, or we don't open now on a Monday. It's like, them days you start not doing it.
It's ultimately you're a service provider, right? And you to become a reliable option for people.
If you're open 12 till 10, you open 12 till 10. You don't cut it because there's nobody here.
That's that persistence.
If somebody walks in at 10 to 10, you give them a table. If that's your only table that evening, back in the day, you take it because you want that revenue. You don't go home and think,
mate, it's mad. So there's a really interesting company they're called Eat Club. My mate Pan runs it, and it's been invested by. It's basically like dynamic pricing for restaurants. Yeah. And his whole point was, so if you are quiet, you can use. This is not a plug, by the way, but like I said, it's just a really interesting app that you can use to sort of change the pricing as and when you're quiet. And his whole point was, the people think, oh, we're shutting, and it's almost unintended consequences. So first thing is, oh, we're not busy. No one goes to restaurants on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. We'll shut those days. he was like, actually the nefarious unintended consequences of that are, one, you're not being consistent internally as a team. Two, you're allowing yourself to be, the restaurant that's over the road that is open will win that custom. They've got an opportunity to deliver a great experience. The people can come back to there. And it's like, when you're shut, like, you're actually massively losing.
Monday is one of our best trading days. Monday to Thursday. Thursday starts ramping up for the weekend, but Monday, Tuesday, and Monday is our best trading day usually of the week.
Why?
Probably assume because other restaurants are
it's a bit of a
closed.
psychology, and I think you come up. Monday's a tough day for everyone. Like, right, you wake up, we're back on Monday.
My favourite day to go for dinner is Monday.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
there you go.
Such a pony day.
And then if you can come,
And you just
I got through
that
Monday.
excitement. Like, we're one of them places where you can come and you can really treat yourself on a Monday.
Yeah.
So I think Mondays just work well for us. It surprises me always still to now how Mondays you always get a good, especially lunch trade. You generally have a queue on a Monday, like 5 to 12. Where people just come, I need to feel good now.
on that Monday when you're feeling rubbish, if you can get a plate of food that hugs you back, that's a good place, right? I think that's what our food, it gives you that little.
And also, like,
warm,
with British
friendly.
culture in the summer, like, the amount of people who are boozing on a Sunday is like...
Yeah.
it's-
Everyone's hungover day. Come out,
also, like,
stodgy
like-
food. Let's do it.
Yeah. No, it's fascinating. There's a restaurant in London, and the name's I think it's either Flank
Okay. Yeah.
or... I was going to say Flank or Skank.
That's
It's definitely not called Skank.
a stripper steak restaurant.
But it's only open Monday to Friday,
Yeah.
which I think is genius.
Yeah.
And it's like if you're open the days people aren't open. Again, there's some weird, and I don't know what the answer is, some weird psychology to almost a behavioural science, what that is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just going more into what the overarching... So it's about, so we sort of said, or Abs, you said it's about persistence and always being open. Like, what other things do you do that other restaurants probably don't do? Like, how are you contrarian?
We break everything down quite often, and we still do it to today. We'll pull apart a recipe just because we're not particularly happy with something, or we'll see online feedback. Because we're not a top-heavy company, we're not owned by a corporation or anything like that. We can do as and what we want. So, like, if we see a negative review on something we're not happy with, if we get some feedback on a dish, or there's something on a certain post, we can pull it apart and rehash it and redo it and make sure it's perfect. So we tend
Or
to,
as good as it can be.
Yeah. I mean, perfect doesn't exist in hospitality, does it? Like, as perfect as you want to be, but we listen to what people are saying. So we'll look for Instagram comments, we look for the DMs, we take on board the feedback, we look at the online reviews and pick all that apart to make sure we're actually, what are the customers saying and what impact can we do, and then we'll put that into our dishes. So how many Mondays have we remade a dish or rehashed something?
And I think we're quite blessed. It's quite easy here. The team all really care about, like, for some reason, the people that have come part of, like, the team, they're all so passionate as well, and they're all so quick to, like, if they identify something, because we can't be here 24/7. So you come in on Monday and you speak to the team, and if it still shocks me, like, how much they care. Like, if they see a plate go out and it's not on point, it's like I'm not happy with them onion rings. Like, they could be better. Like,
They'll remake them all.
That is a perfect example.
I get
like,
pictures. My phone is full of pictures from the staff. Like, do you think this is okay? I'm like, no.
Straight back to the kitchen. Look, like, can we have these again? Like, that's not.
Yeah.
And they're not waiting for customers to comment on that. So it's because there's a journey from the kitchen. You've seen the spiral staircase.
Oh, gosh.
That tortuous spiral staircase. So on that journey down there, assessing the food, assessing the product, how good is it? Is it as good as it can be? Is the portion enough? And
Yeah, it's almost like that it's, again, turning a bug into a feature.
Yeah.
That long spiral staircase gives you a lot of time for quality control.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about this, because I think...
my office is the spice rack, so I get to see it coming down the stairs.
Originally started delivery,
Yeah.
sort of wags on wheels. with
Yeah,
your food
COVID,
delivery,
yeah.
Business now, 6 years later, much bigger.
Yeah.
Like, now you've brought on Uber Eats on the sort of delivery side of things. How are you using that as one, not only as delivery, but like marketing, to see where you open new locations? Because you got the van in Chelsea.
Got the van at Chelsea and Twickenham.
Sorry, Croydon.
Croydon, we've got a site. Yeah. So
How do you use it not just as delivery, or as almost like a business?
Just touch points, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what it gives you? It gives you an opportunity to get such a broad market space that we've always done our own deliveries. We've always got our own platform, and we brought in Uber Eats very recently. And do you know what? Our customers are our customers, and they're our customers because they're fans of the restaurant, or they know the restaurant, or they've been a long time person or follow our Instagram. But this just opened up a whole new market space that we never had access to, and it just.
What, as in because they've got
such a big share, yeah. They've got a bigger fleet of drivers. They've got such a market share that's open to so many more people than we've got access to just on our platform. And we've got a big following, but that following's worldwide. It's UK-wide. It's not just intense in this area. Whereas I think one of the nice things with Uber, and I use it personally, is you open it and you can search through the food. You can search for recommendations on what you've ordered and what you've had before. And it just gives you that space where you can see it. So it's much more visible. And then on the other side of it is the fleet of drivers that goes with it. So we've always kept our delivery and takeaway kind of very structured. We allow a certain amount of slots per 15 minutes. We've got drivers on. It's delivered by ourselves. But the restrictions in that is
how many was in your fleet?
We have on a busy Saturday night we have 5 drivers.
And they all go, because I remember you showed me...
In and out, yeah.
As in so we're in Kingston, furthest they'll go is Richmond? Or...
Cobham, Esher, Epsom.
Loads of Chelsea footballers.
Yeah, we got footballers, So we've got a little pocket where we just have for footballers. There's a couple of footballers. There's one in particular we do about there.
The hot spot. Literally, there's we know there's a couple of footballers that live there and some of them play abroad. I think their family are ordering on their credit cards.
So they come back.
Yeah, I won't mention who, but in case I get the family in trouble and they stop ordering.
We always kept it so structured because obviously first and foremost for us is the restaurant. This is our bread and butter. This, serving a customer in front of you it takes a lot more. You can't delay a customer that's sat in front of you. Deliveries can be delayed. Deliveries can have issues, but with customer in front of you is the first and foremost priority. Then it comes to the delivery side of it. We have our own drivers that come in and out, but again, we only let so many slots go because we didn't want to overwhelm the kitchen, but also getting delivery drivers in and out. So we couldn't just let it go wild. So we resisted for a while, backwards and forwards with Uber, resisted. An opportunity came up and we thought it was the right time in terms of for us as a business. Where we'd got to with the plates and everything we was doing kind of led to look, we're going to have a site in Kingston, we're going to have a site in Croydon. The Croydon side of it, we knew we would do well on the delivery platform, so we was like, okay, let's give it a go there. Let's touch base there first.
Because you could see your personal heat map kind of.
Yeah, we could see
that heat map.
Yeah,
Call of Duty.
I know, right? Yeah, it's science.
Yeah.
We love some customer data. We love insights. We love being able to see them heat maps. And you look on the delivery platforms, it's saturated with a lot of the samey things. And it's like, look, this is very different. This is a shop where you can get a lot of different things that suit, like we said, suit everybody. And then, obviously, with the driver fleet, there's no restrictions. We just let it go loose, and we're so worried about doing that, especially the first weekend. It was like, right, it's open. And it was like, oh, my God. How are we going to cope?
I've been so surprised how supportive Uber are.
Yeah.
In terms of trying to give you opportunities for us to continue to grow, to push this into events and even hold an event for us to cater for them.
It's not just...
For me, but will you use it as a way to find new sites?
Yeah, so I think they've got such good data they can give us from what their delivery partners are doing on their
even
areas.
Their advice,
sort
of where they can offer what particular areas are ordering what.
Yeah.
So what items? So for example, have you got a particular area where chicken and shrimp would do well with the local market from? They've got that opportunity to test areas from different items, and that can give us an indication, insight into, would actually do really well in North London. They've got restaurants that they know have performed well there that offer the chicken and shrimp, and that gives us insight with minimal risk.
That's so interesting. So the other thing I think is really interesting is, again, back to the adaptability piece, is context. Core brand principles up the top here, upstream, right at the top of the sort of the stream, if you want to call it that. But then downstream is say Croydon's this, and then the outside Stamford Bridge, you've got that lorry or truck. How do you think about that of deliver, in terms of what you serve, in terms of making it, you can't in a football stadium, you're on the move. How do you adapt in that situation?
We have a fast serve events menu that we roll out. Sometimes we change in our dishes. We'll add brisket donuts, we'll add mac balls, depending on the event. But we'll do sandwiches. So we'll do the po' boy, brisket, shrimp, cauliflower. We'll do the dirty boy, brisket, chicken, shrimp, cauliflower. We'll do them on the road because it's quick serve. Nobody wants to wait. You know, when you come to a stadium or you come to an event, you want quick food. Yeah, so Croydon, it's not got the full menu, it's got a reduced down menu because it's got to be quick serve. Whereas here, the full dining experience, we can offer that. And we can offer the full menu on Uber and our own delivery platforms. But in Croydon, we can't offer the same full menu because it's not the same dining experience. It's a much enhanced, quicker, sharp, short service.
Also, I suppose it gets, because do you know, have you been to Black Bear Burger?
Yeah.
So have you met Stu? The founder of it, he's a G, he's a really good mate.
Yeah.
We did an event there actually. And he was saying,
burger, by the way.
mate, that the miso mayonnaise one is just, mate, it's fireworks.
Yeah.
And he was saying that he uses they have like, was it like market halls, you know, those like,
Yeah.
he was like, we purposely won't put the sides in those places. One, logistically, but two, if the burger's bang enough, it creates enough intrigue that people come. So actually use it as a marketing vehicle to get people into the restaurant.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, I suppose my question was this: like, how are you going to use this delivery Uber as a way to entice people in?
I suppose a lot of people are. Do you know? It still blows my mind. We've got such an online presence.
Yeah.
That still people, you talk to people and they've never been to the restaurant or don't know about it. Still,
it.
yeah. Like we'll probably deliver to customers that have not seen us before, apart from an Uber, and they probably didn't even know we was here. And it still blows my mind in this area.
Brand awareness.
Yeah, it's just I think, like I was saying, there's much more to it than just a delivery platform. I find, and I didn't realise this before we kind of got involved, that it's not just an A to B delivery platform. There's way more kind of behind it that we've had out of it, and the experience we've had from it. We've got a great relationship with our account manager. I think we're quite blessed with him. He's great. He's always on call, just message away if I need anything, and he's always putting opportunities our way, which is another way of like a brand awareness. This is the first time we've sat down and had a conversation like this. Like, I think it's something we miss out on and we should do more of, and that's what you was talking about, singing about our products and shouting about them, because we've kind of just always stayed behind the scenes.
That's why I was so excited to do this.
Unsung heroes.
It's the it is like when I tried the food, I'll be honest, like because I saw the Instagram, I was like, I've been to some of these places. Like my mate's taken me some places that are just a bit. You just eat the food. It's not the quality. Whereas it's like you've got the Instagramification of it, but the quality actually backs up.
Yeah.
You guys don't or didn't use plates for a long time, which is wild, especially like in an actual bricks and mortar restaurant. I think giving some context on that would be brilliant. And I think it's really interesting. And it's, again, one of the things I'm kind of obsessed with at the minute is dealing with the cards that are in front of you. You know, if this is a site you've got to do, you've got to be adaptable. You've got to move. As Abs, that's one of your principles is be adaptable. But yeah, mate, if you want to go into like the kitchen, and sort of paint a picture of what it's like, and then how that impacted the business.
So the kitchen is such a tiny space. Like it's a very narrow. It's almost a loft space, you know. It's tiny. It's really small. So we have to get as much as we can out of that kitchen. The demand far outstrips the size of that kitchen. So we're really kind of confined to what we can and can't use. So in terms of plates or bowls or packaging. So when our demand did increase, we was originally in plates. When our demand did increase, we just couldn't get the food out and keep up with the demand in the way we did things. And then because of COVID, we flipped to takeaway style packaging. And that just worked so well, so quick. And the coming in and out of lockdown and everything like that has just meant we stayed with this kind of takeaway style packaging that made service so much slicker, so much quicker. It used to be the days that we'd build a dish, put a lid on it, put it in a bag, run it to the tables, drop it on a table, in a bag, done.
And we managed to test a packaging product that turned into a plate, essentially.
Yeah, it folds out.
You could fold it out. And so it became a plate style experience, but also was a transformer because you could fold it back up and turn it back into a takeaway packaging and re-lid it, and it sort of went back together and took its original form. She was able to take it away again, where the Southern hospitality comes back into it, and the portion sizes
very rare
leftovers.
Very rare anyone finishes.
And then you pack it away and
it's just doggy bags to go.
Yeah. Interesting.
So yeah,
So that's knowing the bank, going back to like really having that real empathy with the customer and knowing your. I haven't thought of it like that because a lot of
comfort in taking the leftovers away. I think it's generally sort of you feel uncomfortable taking stuff away.
you know, when you go asking for a doggy bag or
feel
asking for
bad.
foil
I
and
did this
stuff.
yesterday. I had lunch. Have you been to Hoppers in? Oh mate, if you want some amazing,
Give that a go.
blow your mind Sri Lankan grub.
Yeah.
Karen came on the podcast a couple of days ago, last week, 2 weeks ago, and they gave us like went there yesterday for lunch. He sent out an extra couple of dishes, and I was like, oh my god, it's like banging like, you know, like chicken and like beef. But then I had to ask for
Doggy
bag, and it's not in America. It's very
It's just normal.
It's
goes
very
against
normal.
the grain of
But like in British thing, I think the Brits are too polite, and
Yeah,
we gives us,
absolutely.
it's a bit icky, you know, asking for it.
I think that's why the packaging worked for us. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was like, you could look, be ready to take.
So what? So it was almost like
So the sides just peel off and it just opens like a plate and it just sits nicely. And there was 2 parts to it. The first part was originally it was for takeaway and delivery. We want you to have a 5-star dining experience at home. We want you to have the restaurant in your house. We want to give you that hospitality, that quality that we gave in the restaurant in your home. So it was like, look, you can open this up. It doesn't have to be that awkward takeaway box
Yeah,
that you're
if you want to
fiddling
feel
into.
like it's a plate. You peel down the sides of the boxes, and then you've got essentially you've got a plate here, and then the way it goes back together, the lid
Holds it.
recompasses it back to its original form. So it then look, guys, don't feel pressure to finish it now. If you want to pack it up and take it away and have it for your supper later, here you go, ready to go.
What then? Now it's not that. Now you got plates.
So, yeah,
So again, talk to me in, like that situation.
Look, we always wanted to go back to plates. Really, it was a fix to get us out of trouble after COVID. In and out of COVID, back into COVID. We just never knew where it was going to be, and then our demand was so high that we couldn't think of another way of doing it. Obviously, on the flip side of that, the impact of the recycling, the impact of the cost and everything, we always wanted to go back to plates because we wanted to be a full dining experience, not a takeaway kind of grab and go style restaurant. So it was always going to be on the cards to come back. But it was just how we brought that back in a gentle format that didn't overwhelm the restaurant, the kitchen, didn't have an impact on service and sales, and also kind of helped with the recycling side of things. It was just a whole change in the flow of the way we did the whole service.
Yeah.
So it was a way of trying to bring that back in the
A lot of
most
testing,
Yeah.
timing with stopwatches, times to get to tables.
It's even
with that,
cold plates.
process.
But I suppose that what's really interesting is there's a thing called like this in psychology, the peak end rule. So it's like how an experience ends is more important than
Yes.
the beginning and the middle.
Yeah.
So it's like why Oasis will play Wonderwall last.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. You know, if you want that how an event ends is like. And it works across everything. It's like, you know why in Curry House of Tradition they give you the mint, all those things.
Yeah.
I'm thinking from a takeaway perspective, like that transformer packaging is a gorgeous pecan wall because pecan rule, sorry, tongue twist, because it just naturally, you can just fold it up, bosh, you're out the restaurant. Whereas it is ick-inducing as Brits to ask that. So like, how do you dance that tension? Like, how do you make, because like now they're eating on a plate. 'Cause the pros of a plate is it's way more Instagrammable.
Yes. I mean, it
It's
makes
better
it
for
full of pop, it
recycling.
looks great.
How do you keep that kind of effortless, this smoothness at the end of the meal when the portions are so
It's just become
gargantuan?
part and parcel of our service. Like customers know they're
And I
going to take
think
it
as
home.
well, we make that as comfortable. The staff are
Just
ready
the
there
boxes.
with the boxes.
Yeah. We
So
take them.
rather than waiting to ask. Just say, "Hey guys, like here's stuff for
Here's
for
some
your
boxes of
leftovers,
bag,
here's some boxes
you know?
of bag."
Solve the problem before it
Yeah,
arises.
absolutely.
We'll take the box,
and then-
the bag, the bill. Here you go.
And then the ease in which they're packaging it, so giving them an easy vessel in which they can repack their leftovers.
So you saw in the kitchen, we had the plates, we grease lined them. So we have poor boys printed grease line paper. There's 2 parts to it. One part is for making it easy to separate and take off the food waste, but the other thing's for the customer. They can just slide that straight into the takeaway box. So they don't
Making
have
that
to, do you know,
process
like,
easy.
you know, it's little things that,
This
that
is
people
the stuff
don't
I get
realise.
really
Just
excited
slide in.
about. Like,
Yeah.
so like whether it's the cutting the chicken supreme into 3 things and
Yes.
Yeah.
and turning it into
products.
trifecta revenue
Yeah.
stream, or it's the grease proof thing, which is
just
what
so
other things have you done like that you know, the intangible things that lead to profound tangible results for the customer?
I have no idea. Oh, it's just,
I think it just comes up in conversation, right?
Yeah.
You're extracting them
yeah.
pearls.
Do you know, like, it's little things you just don't think about.
Well, how do you think about it? Like, let's like with Uber Eats now. So using these guys as your partner.
Yeah.
As I said, I interviewed Nisha from Mowgli, who's amazing.
Yeah.
And we were talking about these coffees from Ziga,
Yeah.
whose packaging must cost a small.
Just
It's almost like it's the Lamborghini of packaging. But again, it has that premium feel, and you're like, wow. Mowgli did the same thing with their packaging. It's like, and it's really trying to extend the experience into the customer's home. How do you get the poor boys je ne sais quoi, the fucking energy as?
Yeah. So we dress our dishes the same as we do in the restaurant. We grease line all the boxes. So we put the paper in the boxes to brand it. We've got the see-through lids on there, which kind of hold the packaging really nicely together, but you can see the food to deliver. So you can see your present coming, you can see the food, you can open it, it's just there. We're still using the same packaging that we used back then, and it still opens up like that plate. So it's still got that same kind of at-home dining experience where it's open as a plate. It's all got Po' Boys branded on there. It's got the stickers on the top telling you what it is, telling you it's a Dirty Boy, it's a Mac Boy. So it makes it really easy for the customer to see. We give them the sauce in a little pot on the sides. We worked out quite quickly that if we sauce a dish, put the lid on it, by the time it's gone to the delivery to the house, that sauce just kind of disappears like there is no sauce. So we put them in a nice little pot on the side so they can drizzle it on. So it gives them that experience of making...
preserve the heat as best as you can. And it almost continues cooking the sauce because of the temperature of the food. So
it just disappears and there's nothing there. So we put it in a nice little pot on the side, all labelled up, telling them what it is, and they just drizzle it on the top.
Interesting.
And then I think the create your own dish concept is like gives that chef inside everyone an opportunity to create.
And you can do that on the delivery.
Yeah. So you've got your salt. You can source it the way you want. You can choose.
That's build your own pork.
Yeah. So create your own protein, your own base, your own sauce combination. So it opens up a massive world of opportunities for you to become a chef during your takeout experience. Oh, I'm going to put this. I'm going to Phil. He's got to try this combo.
Yeah, you've got to have these sauces.
Oh my god, it's like an amazing so all these opportunities come up. So and then that sourcing it yourself, you're almost finishing it yourself. Like you're drizzling it and you're like showing.
It's almost like the Nike ID trainers. It's almost like the Nike ID trainers are grub, and I think again I think there's a lot of I love behavioral science. I think it's just fascinating. But there's two things. It's one, it's the customization increases perceived value because you feel like you're actually doing part of it. Then there's the other thing, which is the IKEA effect, which is when you're actually building the furniture, when there's effort from you, again, it increases the perceived value. So it's like super personal. It's like my poor boy is my poor boy. One, but two, you kind of get that customization Nike ID trotter of grub.
Yeah. Well, you take ownership, and it becomes your dish, right?
Yeah. And then you put in, then it's pretty a talking point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Genius. Yeah. My poor boy is better than your poor boy.
Yeah.
And that food's designed to share. It's designed to bring people together. It goes on the middle of a table. You've got your own dish, but I want to feed you what I'm eating because I want you to have that. I'm eating this, but you have to try this. Like it's gonna be the best bite of food you're gonna have today, this week, whenever. And you're eating something, you're gonna be so jealous of what I'm eating. Try some of mine. It's like that kind of. I suppose it comes back to that Southern hospitality, the sharing, the big portions, and then just that experience of that good food in front of you.
Do you guys do? I don't think you do, but healthy dish.
We do. So we do a salad. We do so we've got grilled shrimp. We've got grilled chicken, obviously the beef products, the ribs, the brisket. So we do it on a salad, skinny boy
base. So
the sandwich is fairly healthy.
You don't have to have the chips or the mac. You can have a skinny boy base. So it's a salad.
Delicious salad as well.
Great salad, really fresh.
But again, that's not something you really push on socials, is it?
Do you know? Yeah. Do you know? Obviously,
again, that's because I suppose
you push what sells.
But
you
also,
push what's sexy.
It's just this really interesting thing. Is it's like it goes back to like picking the right things that actually one sells, but the reason it sells is because it lands with the consumer, doesn't it?
Yes. This goes back to what we were talking about before. Do you know when you were saying why don't you market the products you sell and where you buy them? Again, because where do we market it? We market it on Instagram, we market it on TikTok. Like that doesn't really resonate with our customers. Same with certain dishes. Like we know if we start doing a soft shell crab on there, that it's not going to have the same impact that the brisket does, that the mac and cheese ball does. So you see what gets the interactions, what's being liked on
More
socials,
playful.
like the stuff that is fun and people want to see. That's the stuff we tend to push and post.
No, it's interesting.
And I think one thing when TikTok came about, in terms of when it started to create a bit of buzz, we it was an opportunity to show the restaurant in the third dimension.
Yeah.
So
What do you mean by that?
We'd always done stills, haven't we?
yes, there was a still of a food. You see a still of a food. Oh, I like the look of that. TikTok gave me an opportunity to become like it to be an experience. The dunking and the dipping and the pulling, the cheese pulls.
Yes.
To create that. So not only can you become a chef by creating your perfect dish, you could also become an influencer by doing your own video. So I can look. Let me do.
So
let me
it's
do.
CGI cheese pulls.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I can do my dunk.
Yeah.
So we got our social media guide to sort of guide people. Look, do this. This is so much fun.
Yeah.
You get messy. Do a big dunk like a speedboat to do that, and then so instead of saying I want that, people would come and say I want to do that. Can I do that? Can I have the mac and cheese balls so I could do my pull, the jalapeno poppers to do that? So we worked on techniques in creating the food. So like testing the cheese pulls were enough to give that people that experience. So building the dishes in that
that's
way
so
to create,
genius.
that's the third dimension. That
Again, this is probably something that you
experience.
guys have done naturally that we're sort of eking out in this
You know what,
conversation.
we
It's like
don't,
that.
You don't always think about all the little things that you do that make it what it is. It's as you talk and the things.
But sometimes it's pausing and getting off your phone and having
Yeah.
conversations like this. You
Yeah.
can actually like eke it out.
The viscosity of the sauces gives you an opportunity to do the sexy dunks, if you like, and the dips, and making that relevant. And it sort of where we sort of practice everything with the social media guy, so we can, when he does his dunk, we can then test if that sauce viscosity is the right level, so that when you come and dunk yours, you get the same experience.
And one of the things we've always been really like keen on is when we do a social post, we don't make the food any different to what you and I would get. Any customer gets, it's the same food. We don't make. You see a lot of socials. You look and you see the grab. You see the picture. It looks perfect. It looks like wow. I can't wait to get that. And you go in reality, it doesn't look like that. It isn't that same food. You look on the
we
tagged
worked hard
pictures.
on that.
We really look at the tagged pictures as much as we look at our pictures to make sure
They're
that
more important.
the customer's getting what we put out. So we want you to have the same sandwich that we post on social media. We want you to have that same cheese pull. So
That same experience.
we don't make anything special just because social media is coming and
Yeah.
taking pictures. It's our staff, our food. Yes, he does his filters and does what he does with the pictures to make them look
and then
nice and
sometimes
sexy.
we do play
but-
for like the whole brisket. With
yeah,
that.
like we'll do stuff to get conversation. We'll cook a whole brisket and be like, you could have this, but
Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to ask you is like, how do you think about staying relevant?
yeah.
Because food is so capricious in the sense it just
Trends, new trends all the time,
Doom,
yeah.
doom, 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 doom. It's like a ADH pinball machine of where people's
Yes.
attention's moving. You know, 1 minute it's matcha, then 1 minute be. I was talking about this the other day. It's like even oat milk now has kind of dissipated into the ether. Like and it just
Yeah.
changes all the time.
We've only just gone the oat milk as well.
Yeah, how are you staying ahead of like where the zephyrs have changed and the waves are flowing?
So it's I think in answer to that, the persistence comes into it.
Talk to me about persistence.
So making the core principles as good as they can be, so that you ride the waves of the trends. I think if you stick to your core principles, you may not capture every trend, but you will stay on that level, that that underlying factor, that core product, the quality of it, so you can miss a trend, or say you don't spot the matcha wave, you don't spot that. As long as you've still got great coffee, yeah, you've missed that peak potentially, but you still that core product.
What are those core things for you guys?
So it's the flavour,
Yeah.
the portion, the hospitality.
Yeah. Because it's still part of that consistency piece. You know,
Yeah.
like if you come back today, you come back next week, you get
The
the same
experience, so
product. and
that ownership of the dish, creating that.
Yeah, so 'cause I'm just thinking about this like.
Do you know what? We keep an eye on trends. We see what trends are doing. I think you can quite easily get distracted and take it off your
Yes.
game. Like if you follow every trend, you lose your core principles. You lose the stuff that made you what you are. You lose the basics. So we keep an eye on trends, and
And then
some
staying
trends
in
come.
your lane's a big one I always find.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've got there again. I think Toby's on my. I've been speaking to him. The brand strategist guy we were talking about is there's a book he recommended which is called Slay in Your Lane, which I love. Like, talk to me about that, because I think, distractions masquerade as opportunities. You're like the new shiny thing. Oh, they're doing that. Their revenue's doing that. Oh, we should do that. But actually, it takes real nerve and persistence and balls.
Persistence and staying in your lane.
Persistence. Talk to me about slaying in your lane. Like, what's that about?
So, for us, I think we love the core principle of what we do. Fried chicken and shrimp is the core of us. Like that's deep south. That's deep south hospitality, and the pull of do a burger, do a hot dog, do this.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to continue just commit to your original and staying focused and persistent on that core product that we do. You see companies and businesses constantly being distracted, and like the pull of the law of doing the burger. The smash burger market is obsessed, and the summer smash burgers just look so great and sexy, and it'd be so easy to have a smash burger po' boy, but just we just wouldn't be being true to what we do and what we do and what we do well and what we try to do well.
It's not a speciality, is it? Like, yeah, it's just not something that fits with us. Like, we still stick to that Southern style food, you know, like we know what products are going to sell with us, and in trend wise we've got the opportunity to go do wing festivals and try these new trends and try these things we use that
we play
as an
around
outlet.
A bit,
do you know,
you sort of able to satisfy your urge to do your.
I think the only trend we've got involved with is the hot honey one. Like we did the hot honey, and like it's impossible
we
not
love
to.
the sweet and salty
like
hot honey
combination.
And how does that not go with fried chicken? I love chicken
even
and maple.
fried seafood,
yeah.
So
like, in terms of trends, I'd say that's the only one really in recent times that I can think of that we've brought into the restaurant. The rest of the time we've used the outlet.
We've always played around with the sweet.
Yeah.
We love to play around with the food concepts being sweet, like with the brisket donut. We're always, wherever there's an opportunity, we like to incorporate a sweet element or a sweet suggestion.
But that's a barbecue
in our
sauce
savoury
or,
dishes.
Yeah.
Like
our Cajun spice a little bit sweet. So like a traditional. We'll have lunch.
No, that barbecue sauce you did.
Yeah. But like,
it's like
our Cajun spice has got a little bit of sweet in there. So like a traditional Cajun spice is hot. It's, you know, it kind of gives you a tingle in your mouth. Yeah, if you think of a New Orleans Cajun spice, it's spicy. So when you get Americans in, you like they talk about the Cajun spice, and talk like ours is designed for English people, like, you know, for the English market. It's got that slightly sweeter taste to it, but it's still spicy, but not that hot spice that's going to leave afterburn.
We haven't tried to create a New Orleans.
Yeah,
an English version of New Orleans.
Because basically, I had one of these Nashville burgers.
Yeah.
In
your socks off,
mate. Like I'd met some other random bloke. I basically just got there. I was on my Larry.
Yeah. And
so I was like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go." The Six Nations had just started, so it's 7 weeks ago. And I was like, it was meant to meet. End up going to this bar. It's like 9 a.m. We're watching the rugby. Get having a load of Guinnesses. You know,
dream.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh mate, it was a dream. And there was loads of English guys in there watching the game. And then sort of befriended some of them. They're like, mate, we're going to take you to this Nashville proper hot chicken spot. You know, what I like about there is that you have the hot chicken, but they give you like the really soft, crappy white bread. I know it's not good. It's not good quality.
Toast
but it's just like, and you just get the bread, and it's like a vehicle for mopping. But mate, anyway, so I had the first one, and the second one, literally, it was spicy to the point of, you know, my eyes were popping out.
We
my
can give you
skull,
that experience here with the Carolina Reaper, can't we?
But look,
so you can do that.
Yeah, we've got hot.
I think there's a lot of places say they do a hot sauce, but it's not really. It doesn't tick the box for the hot lovers.
Yeah,
we've actually got
a voodoo sauce, which is just,
we call it Voodoo Reaper, and it's a Carolina Reaper based sauce product. And it is a real hot. It's got real heat. Heat that stays.
Yeah.
It's not just a note or
the ghost lingers.
Carries on.
I love that.
So we've got that there for the customers that do want it. But look, our palates we don't want that level of spice, or the majority of people don't want that level of spice. Our most popular sauce is Cajun mayo. Like, it's a nice, sweet kind of mayonnaise. It's just... it's delicious. Like,
mayonnaise is so.
Mayonnaise just goes with everything, right? But
mayonnaise literally goes.
You know, that's our most popular sauce by a long way. So, but we've got hot sauce. We've got everything. Like, I think everything we do kind of touches that somebody's gonna like. And there's not many places that's kind of a one-stop shop for like beef, shrimp, chicken, and all the other dishes that you can get in one go. So like, you know, if you've got a group of 5-6 friends, there's going to be something on the menu that pleases every single one. You know, sometimes you go out and like you've always got that one awkward friend that doesn't like anything on the menu. I think it's really difficult to have that. Yeah. You're not invited next time, but you've always got that one friend where I think here it's like it's got something of everything. You know, from spicy, hot to nice and sweet to kind of that buttermilky.
We try to give the whole American experience when you get all around that deep south. Your brisket, your shrimp, your great fried chicken, all the great textures and flavour profiles.
Yeah.
One thing I'd love is like making hard decisions under pressure. Again, like, did you watch rugby on the weekend?
Yeah.
Again, they absolutely shanked it.
Yeah.
Again,
threw it away.
Yeah, threw it away. So, with context, we're recording this just after England lost to France. But absolutely bottled it, shanked it. But yeah, they were celebrating. I'm not sure if you watch rugby raps, but yeah, it doesn't.
But it gets the rundown in the Monday morning.
The point is, it's like conceding a last-minute goal. Yeah. And Clive Woodward, who was one of the World Cup, he was having this thing. It's called tick up. Calm decisions under something like that. Calm decisions under pressure.
Okay.
And he was basically like drilling his team to make calm decisions under pressure.
Yeah.
And there's an Ernest Hemingway quote, which is "Courage is grace under pressure," which I love.
Yeah.
When have you been really under pressure, and like how do you steady the poor boys?
Every Monday morning.
Staying true to them core principles.
Yeah.
Regardless of the pressure.
Yeah. And I think it just gives you focus. If you just hone in on that, I've got to stick to the persistence and committing to them core principles. It just gives you that focus to be able to essentially remain calm under pressure.
What has been the most like other than COVID, because everyone can say COVID, but like, as in the moment you're like, oh my God, like, this is rolling the dice here, or like we are under the cosh, we're on the 5 metre line getting battered. Like,
do you know what? There hasn't. Obviously, COVID was a big one.
Yeah,
that was huge.
It was out of your control, wasn't it?
Yeah,
you've got to close now. You have to close.
Look, just moving away from the boxes to packaging, that was a huge decision.
And going back to plates.
We even coming from wooden cutlery to proper cutlery, even washing the dishes, like. We always we never make a decision on the whim. We never put ourselves under pressure to make a decision there and then. We've always done a thing where we'll talk about something.
What's the mental models? What's the thinking behind? Like,
we always
we'll test everything as much as we can prior.
Any examples?
So
delivering. I remember once we got the new uniform. We got the delivery bags.
Uniforms like the bomber jackets.
Yeah, but I remember right at the very early stage, I think I've got a picture on my phone. So it was a very early picture on my Instagram. I look about 12 years old compared to now. But I remember stood there with the delivery bag and being like, right, I'm going to ride around Kingston for 30 minutes, then test the temperature of the food when it comes back. Just to see what heat it loses. And it's just stupid things like testing it. Yeah, and
in the timing to table, so the box to plates, boxes back to plates, that was a huge one, really, a huge pressure point.
Warming the
plates.
How's
that going to be perceived? Making sure that, because the restaurant, in terms of like the journey from, say, the mac station, you've been in the kitchen, we've got a mac and cheese station at the back of the kitchen. The distance as the crow flies from there to the furthest table at the back of the courtyard. Yeah. So that journey, the mac and cheese has to go from the back, from the Mac station to the pass, all the way down the stairs, through in the restaurant, outside. So
and for context, for listeners, like the spiral staircases are quite torturous, as you rightly said. Like it's a bit of a punt to get there.
Yeah.
So would you increase the? What were the learnings from that then? Would you increase if you had a table out there? Would you put it in the fryer a bit longer, or
no? It's just knowing that it's going to get cold, like,
and how that impact that journey time. So when we have such a tight turnaround for tables coming in, it's the turnaround time of how's that going to impact that table turnover time. So that journey, what's that going to impact? So going back to the plates, so how the time that's going to add on to the whole to the whole time that the
Every
restaurant...
5 seconds adds up, doesn't it? So we was doing a thing last week. We was doing a piece on, look, we have on a Saturday, we have really busy Saturdays, but what we've been noticed over the last few Saturdays was every third hour, speed of service dropped, and the money going through the till in an hour
getting through the queue
wasn't
fast as you need to.
wasn't consistent. It dropped off by like a good margin as well.
So in that hour.
Yeah, so that third hour was like, right, look, everything's dropped off.
So this would be at 3 p.m.
Yeah, between 3 p.m. slot.
Okay.
And I was breaking it down, and like we were saying, that every 5 seconds adds up. Every time that extra journey going from the A to B, you know, how far it is, how long it takes, adds on, and that slows down the turnover of the tables. And we was looking,
getting through the queue and getting people served as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So why was it being slowed down?
Do you know what? We worked it back, and it's the speed of clearing the table. So getting that table, so getting the bill on the table, getting the food into boxes to take away, getting a bag, getting the bill, getting the payment, clearing the table, getting the next table in. If that's 30 seconds per table across the day, across the hour, it was huge. So Saturday we tried for the first time putting a table clearer on, a busser. We don't have busser. A busser is an American term. It's basically somebody that just flips that table, closes the table off, like takes the payment, cleans the table, gets it ready for the next one. The waiter does all that bit, but the waiter, if they're serving this table, they can't take a payment on the table over there. They can't clear that table. They've got to
Is
wait.
that not a bit obtuse to the customer if they've been sat there like?
Obviously, you can only get through tables at a certain speed, but yeah.
But as in, so it's not like you're going, right, mate, you've eaten your...
Yeah.
You stuffed your face, it's time to go.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
No. It's still
improving the speed time of our process.
So it's almost like the F1ification of...
pit stop.
Yeah.
So it's a pit stop. Yeah. So it's not. Wow. It's not getting the customer out faster. It's the turnover after that customer leaves to the next one.
Okay, no.
Our processes are
and
what we have to do to...
That third hour
have to do
was consistent with the rest.
To be able to speed up our ability to be able to take your payment quicker, to help you to get through, because your commitment is essentially the person in the queue front there looking through into the tables.
You see a table empty,
when am I going to get in? I want to get in. And watching people eat and that.
And nobody wants to see an empty table with stuff on it needs clearing. We try and clear as we go. When we can. When we can't, we can't.
So they're watching.
You don't want an empty table. So it's like, right, we've got somebody to just literally focus on. As soon as that table leaves,
what can we do
stop,
to
F1
increase
style, in, out, get it ready again.
You
sack quicker.
It's mad. I want to talk about like and I think this is it's like making money, staying in business.
Yeah.
Again, we won't go into numbers, but like the site coming out of this one site alone is more than. We won't name names, but like, some of the 4 or 5 sites of a big burger place, right? It's mad.
Yeah.
Like, what other ways have you made, like, whether it's the thing with the chicken, like, how are you making dough? Like, how are you being hustling, making it happen? Like,
wherever we've had an opportunity to do the 3-in-1 revenue product thing, where it's the skin, the wing, the breast, out of the 10 out of the one Supreme, the brisket.
So how much money could you make out of that one Supreme? Technically, like ballpark figures.
So if you get so out of the breast, so you get 3 pieces, so 3.
We can take 3 tenders, 3
so that's one portion.
Tenders.
So that's one portion
out of the Supreme.
Okay. So that.
And then you get
a quarter of a portion of lollipops,
and then the chicken skin.
A fifth of a portion of cracklings.
So all of a sudden that £8-9 a kilo piece of chicken
comes a £20
return,
like revenue stream. And then
what other things have you done with that? So the brisket,
the brisket again. Brisket is really expensive. So to just have slices of brisket, we can have the brisket donut to create an opportunity to create a higher value item. So I think where some barbecue restaurants use the brisket trimmings to create a burger, to put on the menu, so they can get away with giving you a generous size of. But that's another thing we constantly face a challenge in. Given the bigger portions, the Southern hospitality style portions of food, we need to create an opportunity to give them generous portions by having the brisket donut give us an opportunity to do that. That's a massive one. Whereas less brisket goes into a donut, well, they're packed out.
Yeah, you've seen
they're
them.
fully packed. You'll see they're fully
Yeah,
packed.
Yeah, huge.
But-
Yeah.
Back to the rafters.
But it gives you an opportunity to give a more generous portion of. It's not about just creating revenue; it's about being able to give them generous portions.
Outweighs the cost of another price. So if we don't hit the GP on a certain product, we're going to hit the GP on another one that'll carry the cost of some of the other products that you can
To be
only
able
get a
to give the
certain level price at. I
generosity.
think, you can only charge. There's a ceiling price you can charge in any restaurant and for a certain product. But sometimes we'll have to outweigh that cost with the byproduct, so the brisket done or the chicken skin or the chicken soup or the lollipop. We'll try and balance off that cost of another product by having that side product. So that's
And then we've also
So you're looking at the holistic
yes. We're not just looking at that.
GP from like a bird's eye view.
yeah. And then I think on we're seafood, we're using an irregular size of shrimp, which gives us a better price of our supplier. It makes them work hard, but it gives you a bigger shrimp, so you have a better experience.
Yeah, where's the shrimp supplier?
So our shrimp supplier ended up being a good friend of
He's a
ours.
good friend.
right?
Yeah,
sick.
we have holidays with him, nights out with him. He's a good
Yeah.
friend. Like, as a pal. Yeah.
Where's he based?
And he works hard
Just down the road,
for
Feltham.
us.
Yeah.
Like he scours the market, he scours the world to get us
Yeah.
good competitive pricing and a good range of products.
Yeah, he's always trying to bring us something new, whether it's
Soft shell crab, like the irregular size, the effort in sourcing the soft shell crab,
This is well done, right? But why is soft shell crab not got a skin like?
a shell.
How's it
It sheds a shell.
Once, I think it's
For
once a
one
year?
day,
Yeah, one day.
for
Yeah.
one day in its life, it sheds its shell,
And so that's when you have to
And
get
then
them.
you
Yeah.
harvest it then.
Have you never?
Get it
Have you not?
then.
Have you not tried it?
Yeah, I've had it, but I had it at Helpers the other day. I've had that, but then
Yeah, so
I,
the shell's
I
soft,
was
so when
with
it's
my mate.
cooked,
I was
you
with
can
my
eat
mate
it.
the other day. I was
Before it
thinking,
regrows and hardens
how
its
is
shell
it?
again.
How is it actually a soft shell crab?
Well, for a day, it sheds its shell, and
So I
then
was like, how's
that
it
day,
walking around like
Yeah.
that day that it's
not walking around,
harvested,
Floppy.
shuffling around?
yeah,
Yeah.
that day that's harvested, its shell is soft enough to consume.
So I have seen people order that and then try and pick it. I'm like, what's you doing? Why have you ordered a product you don't know what it is? You can't pick a soft shell crab.
That's us. That's our responsibility to educate
Yeah,
them,
yeah,
right?
that's our chance. Yeah.
yeah, that's us.
And so what were you doing pre this, mate? What was your what was your background in pre? If we're allowed to talk about this,
Before
Yeah.
restaurants.
for restaurants, yeah.
Physics and science.
No way.
Yeah.
Go on, tell me.
Well, done a degree in physics, and then there was always a dream to own and develop a gourmet sandwich restaurant. We've got when I was travelling, I hit upon a place in New Zealand called Fergburger, who've done.
So how long ago was this? This
This
was
is like 20 years ago.
right. Yeah. So you do physics. You wanted to be a physician, or you just did physics?
Physicist.
What's that? Physicist is
This is one of that exactly.
Yeah,
Who knows? Don't, yeah.
The real science discipline.
yeah. Well,
Biology and chemistry are stamp collecting and made. So space and all of that stuff and the formation of the universe and
nice and light
Yeah.
topics compared to
Yeah.
a poor boy Sonny.
What's that guy? Brian? What's his name?
Brian.
Yeah, that's you. Brian Cox of restaurants. Eh?
He's a legend.
rocket science.
Yeah, I love him. Is he looks like he's something out of Joy Division.
Yeah.
Or like one of those. Boy, I think he is a mank actually.
Then
but
his
they-
voice kicks in.
His voice kicks in. He's just like the most softly spoken.
Yeah.
He looks like he could be a guitarist in the Smiths or something. He's a G. He's a British national treasure.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. So
And then the
physics.
science, it comes in every day. Like people always say, oh, when you're at school, when are you ever going to use that again? But with the physics degree, every day we're testing and researching and experimenting and even through running the food to the tables. Like,
So this is all making
every day
sense
is
now.
Every day is an experiment, a science experiment. You write a hypothesis, you create a prediction, you test that prediction. Does it work or do we adapt the processes? So that's every day. So if someone says, well, I'm ever going to use science again, well, I'll use it every day. Every day. Write a hypothesis, we look at data, analyze
Data,
data. But every day we do it. So if anyone asks me,
What are some of the craziest experiments you've done that we haven't talked about?
I don't know. This.
it just comes up every day.
Well, I suppose it's actually it's not.
Testing.
It's just a mode of being for you guys.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
know-
It's like for
We're
me,
the
it's-
most restaurant people probably that I know of. Like we don't.
'Cause what was your background? You did a bit. Yeah.
I was a bank manager, sales. I've always been kind of sales related, a bank manager for long enough, and then worked in recruitment back into sales. It's all been sales, data, process driven kind of roles, and that kind of fits in here.
And
do
I
you know?
think one of the most interesting meetings we've had recently was recently done a local collaboration with Honest Burger.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say
Yeah,
that?
yeah. It's on the menu.
They just moved to Kingston and they came and tried the food.
Do you know what I love about them is that each place they go to,
They do something new.
Yeah.
I love
They
that.
loved the food,
they're
they loved
amazing.
our jalapeno popper, and they loved the fact of how we created and come about.
Whereabouts in Kingston is it?
Where GBK was, do you know?
police station,
Where the Nando's is.
Yeah. It
So
came and did a
so they
secret.
asked, could we have
It
do
knew-
a collaboration, create a burger
Yeah.
based on your jalapeno poppers? But like, absolutely, we're on
great.
it.
He said he wanted to do it, then come and did a secret dining. Like, would have liked to have got a heads up and know it was coming and just go, oh yeah, it's extra special. And like, tried to make it a little bit more special, though. It just didn't tell us it was coming. Just turned up, ordered a load of random stuff off the menu, and was like, right, okay,
Spotted, they love the jalapeno poppers.
I want this. I'm going to try and recreate. And do you know, he's an exec chef. This guy was like a very bright guy, one a really clever
Honest
guy.
Burger, like they're a great company, like, and they've
Yeah,
done
they still do
like-
things properly, like
Yeah,
hand cut the chips, the butchers.
Have you been to Bread Stall Pizza? You had that on.
I've had that
on the
Northcote Road.
Yeah. I literally live up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been there when I haven't been drunk, but like it's but they because Phil from Honest has just gone and they're now doing Bread Stall together.
Nice.
It's opening up Soho because they've got that again, that probably blueprint of how
Yeah.
to do things. Oh,
Yeah.
that's I mean their sources are extraordinary as
Yeah.
well. So yes, sorry they reached out. And,
Yeah, and we just had a meeting with them, and it was, I think, where we constantly, you said about the restaurant life,
Yeah.
and then a lot of the processes that we've developed and come across, and like to know that we share similar
Yeah.
sort of journeys and experiences, and like how we've hit upon certain things without being that typical restaurant folk. That's really interesting.
Error. Yeah. Just.
what's the science of service? Like, what have you tested and trialed? Because I interviewed Sat Baines,
Yeah.
who's got the two, again, almost other end of the spectrum, 2-star Michelin restaurant
Yeah.
in Nottingham, which was marvellous. And, but, they would do a lot of hypothesis, test, learn, and they would do a load of role play situations.
Yes.
So like what's the science of service?
We have a really simple steps of service. It's very simple.
Steps to service.
Steps of service, yeah, from menus on tables, taking orders. It's a very simple process, but it comes back to a hiring side. We hire people. We don't hire restaurant people. We hire people that we think fit the vibe, fit the restaurant, buy into the concept you're doing. If someone comes in and was like, what you come here for? To earn money. It's like, nah, what have you come here for? We love the food.
The worst.
If I'd have applied for my job now, we'll put my CV back as it was in the day, I wouldn't have been looked at. Like, it has just gone to the bottom of the pile. It's just not existent. It's pointless. But when we're doing a recruitment process, we're looking at different things. We end up hiring male, female dancers, actors, people that are just out of university. Like
Nurses.
Nurses. Yeah, just our GM now, she was a nurse, come from Australia. If I'd have seen a CV, I even said to her, I was like, I wouldn't have given you an interview. Like, I'd have gone past it really quickly. Interviewed her, got her in. She's now our GM. Like, her background's nursing. Like, it's just mad. But we hire people that we think are going to fit. And then what we want them to do is bring their personality to the service. So they do the service.
So, for me,
So is that
you want
science
this-
or is that gut? Is there a
well,
science?
it's repeating the process of identifying that person is essentially a science. So
Okay.
we try to recruit people who you want them to join your table. So if you're served by someone who you would like to have dinner with, straight away you're going to feel more comfortable. So
way of looking at it.
yeah.
so one, whether it's appearance or a vibe or a feeling with that person, so you want them. So what we try to the team we have, we want them to feel comfortable, and we want our guests to feel comfortable with that person sitting with them. So you'll notice a lot of our staff will sit at the table when they take the order. So straight away, and we want the guests to feel comfortable with that. So you can you'd be happy to share your table with them. So it develops that trust in, I'm going to give you an opportunity to find out what I would like to eat here. So even the process of selecting, like, it's a big deal, isn't it, going out? It's not cheap.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal. So you want to trust that your server, and you want your server to be able to extract the right information. So we serve our brisket in 3 forms, but 2 primarily. And in the create your own poor boy section, we serve it in lean slices or fatty chunks like brisket burnt ends. So as a server, it's your responsibility to make sure they choose the right version of the brisket. So are you a fillet steak man or are you a ribeye man?
Me, personally.
Yeah.
Ribeye.
So if you're a ribeye, I'm gonna say to you, I want you to order the brisket burnt ends, highly marbled, bit more fat on it. If you say I'm a fillet man, I'm gonna give you the lean slices. So you've got to extract the information from them.
So you almost have like, again, there's almost like a science of saying maybe like questions or ways.
Yeah, it's a responsibility to
It's interesting. So like
what you would like.
Yeah, there's this the guy I was in Nashville with, Will Godara, who amazing book called Unreasonable
Oh
Hospitality.
my god, that's my favourite book.
Yeah,
We
we
love
read
that
it, yeah.
book.
Yeah.
I was with him.
Mate, I was with him in
Oh my
Where was
god.
our invite? We haven't read the book. We listened
Yeah,
to
that's
it.
what I was in. That's what I was in Nashville with.
I've had that book like
Yeah.
Mate,
I've read it 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
He's the Don, bro.
He is.
Yeah.
And
love
so
that book.
I'll show you a pic. So that's what I was in Nashville with.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah,
incredible.
he's an absolute G. But he was saying that rules equals freedom.
Yeah.
And we're doing this supper club with Uber as well in a couple of weeks. And
I'd love them to come to the restaurant.
yeah, oh mate, he's amazing. He's
he there?
he's in Nashville. I'm just trying to find a picture of it. Where is it? But I went to all his favourite places. Yeah, that was in Nashville a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
Exactly. He's an absolute G.
Yes.
And we talked for 3 hours, and I was just asking him all these questions. But he was saying that it's almost the science of service.
References stuff for the staff. So
Oh, mate, he's amazing. But he was saying the science of the systems behind service. And I think you want to almost create this stuff that feels really effortless and magical.
Yeah.
So we're having this with this supper club we're doing in a couple of weeks. You guys should both come. It's going to be. We've got Rory Sutherland speaking. It's going to be sick.
Wow.
And we're going to get loads of the hospitality guys. But it's all like, I basically wrote a list of everything I hate about networking events.
Yeah.
And I wrote,
Long list.
and it's a long list. And also, and I've done these before. Like we've done like 10 of these. And the whole point is, I've got my mate who's a DJ in Ibiza. He's playing. We're doing a sick. I'm going there after this to go and speak to them, get all that energy going. But one of the things we want to systemize is I hate name tags because it's kind of gives you the ick in terms of market. You wouldn't wear a name tag to DC10 in Ibiza, right? Like, and so we're trying to think of these systems and these rules of how do you get people to engage.
We've never done that, have we?
And so,
I hate that.
and so like one of the things, but I think it goes back to like the scientification of service is like we're trying to think of like, okay, we get different coloured champagne corks.
Yeah.
You've got an orange one, mate. She's got a yellow one. So the yellow guys hang out, and you can get people to connect and vibe, but it just feels really authentic. And this is what Will was saying to me because he does this big hospitality conference. It's like you've got to put these rules in place to rules equals freedom. So I think. That your point, Abs, about like when someone goes to, if you have these X set questions,
Yeah.
it allows that freedom. Are there anything you like make your team think about, like when they go into tables?
Yeah.
Like, what are some of those things?
So it's the series of questions you've got a commitment to that to the guest to identify what they would like. You know the menu, right?
Yeah.
You know the menu. You understand.
You know what people are going to like.
Yeah.
You know?
So the textures,
Yeah.
the flavour profiles, the heat, the sweet. So the questions: are you a ribeye? Are you a fillet? Do you have pineapple on your pizza? Like, how are you going to work with if you're a pineapple on your pizza? If that icks you out, are you going to enjoy the hot honey?
Yeah.
So certain that freedom to engage in that conversation to develop that trust. Like you might be a private person, you might not want to tell me if you're fillet or ribeye. Like you may think if you say fillet, are you going to be perceived as being, I don't know, a bit of a snob, or so. It's giving the staff the freedom to engage in conversation so that trust can be developed and built up.
Yeah.
So sitting at a table, how do I feel about you sitting at my table?
Yeah. Are you comfortable? Is it
Are you
awkward?
comfortable with
Do you
that?
know? And we want
So
to
in
try.
that interview process with the team, it's how comfortable are they, like sitting with us? Are they going to be able to engage in that quickly and have that freedom to deduce and build up that relationship with the guest? It's key. It's fascinating.
We also like
it's
to try
almost-
and read between the lines of what they're saying. And if someone's
What do you mean by that?
well, just like if someone's like, oh, I really fancy this, but I want this. It's like, look, have that, and I'm going to get you a little taster. Of
Yeah,
that. Do you know,
and the
like
hospitality, that
you're really
unreasonable.
just got a bit extra. I'd like
That unreasonable
There's other things.
hospitality.
Service is black and white. Hospitality is colour.
that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the
So
colour.
That's it, and that's
Yes.
what we've always
Any
said.
opportunity we can to give them hospitality, to give them a taste of a sauce. If they're unsure on the sauces, because there's 8 different sauce options.
It's that my
Can
first
we-
day,
can
that
we get you
oyster.
a
Never had
choice?
one before. Do
Can
you
we
want to
get
try
you a
one?
taste?
Why not?
If you're unsure on the cocktail flavour, can we give you a taste? Can we give an opportunity to give you extra hospitality? And your Nat said to me the other day, like, is it still true? If a customer's not happy with the portion, which is very rare, can I get an extra? I was like, yeah, absolutely.
Fucking hell.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, if they think,
smoked that, they get an extra.
if they think the shrimp size is not enough, can I get more? I was like, nah. You know, the fact that you've asked that, that knows that it's a thing, right? So, because you forget sometimes to remind that and hit home stuff.
Yeah.
So,
And
she
don't
asked
really
that.
have
It was
a
like,
turn of staff.
absolutely not.
it's
Like,
just reminding them.
What's the science of? Sorry for interrupting. What's the science of putting the poor boys slap bang in the middle of the menu? Again, like, I think menu architecture and choice architecture, behavioural science is fascinating. Like, was there a science behind that, or was it kind of natural?
so
Because you could put anything in the middle.
Anything, yeah.
So that centre, I think, early on, the structure of the menu, the first, our printers said to me the first version of the menu I sent him, he said you need a degree to decipher that menu. So it's probably over.
I've got one, mate.
I'm master's degree in physics.
yeah.
Sorry.
That come in very handy.
Yeah. It was almost like a matrix rather than a menu.
Yeah. That's a lovely way of putting it.
Yeah.
So, but we wanted to just, instead of just make it too structured, starter, main course, dessert, it was, let's have a freedom where it was flowing so that you didn't feel restricted that you had to order starter, main course, dessert. Like, we want people to order and have that freedom of sharing.
Yeah. We want you to build a meal. We don't want you to just order one thing. Obviously, hospitality restaurant wise, we want you to spend more. Fact.
But it was also
it was
to
just,
add that.
yeah, how painful is it to have to turn pages in a restaurant or read through all the different things in different areas? Whereas, like, look, you've got your main box here of the main meals, but around this is all these hero dishes.
Yeah, and you can have
and
snacks.
you can build a snack, a main, and a side, and you're
you're changing your dining. We're giving you an opportunity to create a unique dining experience. If you want to come to us for a lunch date, early for a light meal, you can. If you want to come to us for a deep afternoon, like one-on-one and like really gorge, you can. If you want to come to us for a pre-theatre, pre-musical experience, if you want to come to us for a pre-night out venue where you can go and have a heavy night drinking, you can. We're giving you opportunity to create your own, not own menu, but your own dining experience as well.
It's IKEA rule of building your own thing.
You're building your own menu and your own structure. You're not having to come in and have starter, main course, dessert. You can come in, and like, even if I haven't hot honey in the menu with shrimp, you can satisfy your sweet.
Almost gives you a dessert angle to it.
Yeah, if you have, when we recently had a meeting with the founder of Crosstown Donuts.
Yes.
Oh, JP or Adam?
Yeah, JP.
Yeah.
So,
when I was in the peanut butter business, they were my first ever sales.
They're great guys. So
Yeah. Because Adam did Gourmet Burger Kitchen.
Yeah.
Jeez, I love them.
Yeah, JP, I was so keen to give the founder of Crosstown Donuts a brisket donut, so we can give you your pudding as a starter.
Yeah.
How crazy is that, right?
Yeah. Was they come here?
Yeah.
Sick.
And we're working with them now on a project. So
What, with Crosstown or Slurp?
with Slur.
Okay, sweet.
So they're creating our app, or it's our loyalty app. So it was so. I love the fact that I gave the founder of Crosstown Donuts a donut for his starter, or his pre main course.
And it blew his mind. He was, again, he's just in donut mindset. Donut guy. He thought he was getting a donut with brisket in it, but it's not. It's the brisket donut is the donut. He expected a donut sliced and brisket in the middle. He was a bit like, what is it? What is this?
It's more like a brisket. Yeah, for listeners, it's more. And this maybe not the right way of saying it, but to describe it, it's more like a brisket onion ring.
Yeah.
I know but isn't it? It's not like it's a donut with.
No.
It's nothing. There's nothing donut about it apart from the shape.
Yes,
That's it, and a little bit sweet
And
in
the
there.
sweet and the notes of it.
Yeah,
But it's more like because I'm just trying to like
it's a
describe
donut
this.
shape. A donut shape.
Come and eat it, right?
Yeah.
Pulled beef brisket. Just all kinds of happiness in that.
Caramelised onions.
and gravy mayo.
Yeah.
Gravy
And
mayonnaise.
the texture of crispy bacon bits and
Yeah, I know we were talking about waking up at 3 a.m. before we
Yeah.
hit record, mate, with the sort of 3 a.m. panic. And,
Yeah.
even we were talking about it with Rach. You're just always thinking about stuff if you, come into your brain at those early hours. Like, what's the stuff you guys worry about now? Because you've got a really successful business, you've got a successful brand, you've got a successful partnership. What keeps you trembling and sweating at night?
Do you know, it's keeping that going. It's not falling behind the curve. It's keeping that level and increasing
that
and pushing on.
expectation.
Yeah, like there's a lot of pressure to make sure that the product is as perfect as you can get. There's an expectation from customers. You want the same customers to come back, and you want to bring in new customers constantly. And
there's different challenges now.
Yeah,
So
like
sustainability is a huge challenge for us now, and
Upscaling.
being able to fit sustainability into our operations, and because customers had a very interesting message recently through social media for a guest who come and had a sustainability conversation at her table with another guest.
so two separate tables now talk about sustainability.
About sustainability and how they really want us to push on and make some changes. And like Phil told you early on, we are committing, we read the reviews, and that in itself, that's something I constantly, outside of work, I'm constantly thinking about and worrying about. How can we commit to that and really hit home with that and push on with that and make them changes and adapt
But there's
to
so
be able
many
to
levels to
satisfy
that. When it comes-
satisfy the sustainability aspect and impact that our business
Sure.
is.
Then it comes back to the other side, is the process side of it. It's getting them cups washed and reused. It's in, are they stackable? Are they reusable? Are they going to break? Are they going to chip? And it's all these other things that go into it that you've got to start thinking about before you can
challenges
implement
that
a
that in
change.
itself creates.
It's just, and I think it's hard because people just think, oh, well, you shouldn't use that, use this. It's like, okay, but there's a whole process before you've got to do that of getting that in place and getting that change. It's like so many different things.
How can we continue hitting the high standards and reacting to the challenges while satisfying all of our customer requirements? So how can we now serve you the food that we do, committing to the core principles of quality, flavour, profile, and integrate them sustainability challenges within?
And then it's upscaling it. Other suppliers we use, we told you about a little love story with the chicken. We told you we've got a potato supplier. Potato supply is not an issue. They do huge quantities. But we have to give our chicken farmer a heads up how many chickens to have in the field. It's not just get more chicken. He has to plan the weeks in the feeding from
Growing more
little tiny
birds.
chicks to bigger birds like this. And can that be upscaled? Can as demand increases, can all that be upscaled and still
If
keep
we
the
get
same
an
quality?
offer, can we do an event?
Yeah, it's like
Phil's got to have a conversation with a farmer about birds in a field.
I've got this event coming up. I'm going to need 300 kilos of chicken. That is this many chickens. Can you do it? No, but I'm going to
And
get
it's
some more.
romantic to have that thought from us. But when you come to the table, we can't say to you we've run out of chicken because the farmer hasn't grown enough birds this week.
And we have had an issue where before it's like, I might be short on your order because I've run out of birds. It's like, what?
Yeah,
It happens. And that's the reality of, thinking about upscaling, thinking about the
and
demand.
having a food business and a menu that isn't going and buying burgers to cook.
Yes.
We're creating products every day.
I can see behind you guys. You're the hand batching up. Is that the
Chicken crackling,
This is
yeah.
Crackling.
I'm gonna have to get some.
You're gonna have to
I'm
scoop a
gonna
handful on the way
have to wrap this up shortly, but I'd love to know. I fucking love this, guys, by the way, and it's just so interesting to actually go deeper into your personal stories and how you've created this
Like a therapy session, isn't it?
behemoth.
Yeah. It was
But
so
upon that,
nostalgic this morning.
but I'd love to so what's some of the hardest things you guys been through personally? Like, people listen to this because owning restaurant life is hard.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. And people listen to this and they're like, no, listen to that conversation. It's like, it just helped me keep on keeping on. Like, what's the hardest things you've personally been through?
What, work-wise, personal-wise, everything.
Yeah.
Just in any restaurant role, it's 24/7. It's just non-stop. I remember going back a couple of years ago, just before the little one was born. Mrs. heavily pregnant, with like a few days to due date, and one of the taps in the bathroom burst and flooded. We had water dripping through the ceiling. Busy. I think it was a Saturday night. Basically had to close half the restaurant. I'm jumping in the car. She can barely get in the car. You're having to race here to fix the water damage at that time of night, cut the water off, wait for it to dry out, clean it all up. Just silly little things where it never stops. Hospitality. It's like the biggest feast that I've ever seen. Like, it's just insane. Like, yeah, it's hard because you never get to switch off like the 3 a.m. thoughts. They're always there. I was thinking, how can you drive business forward? How can you improve business? And on the top of that, there's then distractions of so many opportunities to go in different directions and not getting sidetracked. And
fuck me, like how do you do that? Because I have that with this.
Yeah.
So there's a panoply of different things I could do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know how to.
We always said this is the bread and butter. This is what puts kind of food on the table at home. This is what pays your mortgage. This is like the flagship, the everything. This is the most important thing out of everything. So we can't take our focus off this one to do something else. If it distracts from this and has an impact on this, then the other one's not an option, or the other thing's not an option. So it's like, look, is the baby okay? Yes, if that's okay, then we can do another project or do something else.
Yes.
If not, if it's going to affect the baby, it's going to accept
And that's
this.
where persistence comes back in, revisiting
So-
these core principles.
What about you, mate? What's your hardest thing?
Go for it.
Should I?
Yeah, mate, why not? Come on. It's a good thing to talk about.
No,
It's not a good
really.
thing. Okay.
Just health, I think, is things come up. I recently had a bit of a health issue, and that's obviously tough in any situation, right?
Yeah.
But it's like this place is just like the support you get from like colleagues, and it was so funny. I was doing some homework with Arthur the other day, and he had to write a story about being stuck on a planet. I said, Arthur, I rarely say this. Like, I was like, Arthur, can we discuss a new word? I don't know if you know this word. I was like, do you know a word for what a friend is at work? And he said no. So we talked about colleague.
Yeah.
So I think like the friends at work you create, and like that's been huge. Like having that, and in terms of helping you develop in the business and supporting you in life and supporting you with
So
like health, like it's been massive, huge. Like I cannot like stress how massive that's been. Like so.
So I think, again, it's really important because people will see poor boys on Instagram, they'll see the cues, they'll see the virality, but actually there's real people behind this.
Yeah, and
What happened, if you don't mind me asking, or if you don't want to go there, we don't have to go there, but I think it could be worth, and we can take this out if you really want to.
Okay, so I say it?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Last year I had a stroke.
Right.
I had like undiagnosed high blood pressure, and I think that's the only reason I can find. And it was a massive health scare. I was in hospital for like 4 months.
Yeah, it happened on Christmas Eve. Like, just obviously very out of the blue, very unexpected. I was up north at Christmas, got a phone call from his brother, like, I'm really sorry to ring you today, but I was like, fuck. I was like, no. And like, just not expected. Just like literally a couple of days before that, was having a pint. Yeah, was having a Guinness in the pub and a Scotch egg. That was a Friday thing, Guinness and a Scotch egg.
Now it's Sega.
Yeah, that
that
was an almond mocha, yeah, with a pistachio cookie. But you know, we were sat there like a couple of days before, just having a Scotch egg and a Guinness, like celebrating that we were just about
last year, as in
yeah, literally,
yeah. Like,
2025,
so going into 2025.
Yeah,
I got out of hospital less than a year ago.
Yeah, April time maybe.
Yeah.
Hit such milestones, like we were just breaking up for Christmas, just had the Christmas party with the staff, like already set, get that call on Christmas Eve, come back after Christmas, and it's like, wow, what, like at this point, we didn't have access to anything in the bank accounts, like nothing, like obviously the business is abs, the business that owned the bank accounts, the access to all of that was with abs, so it was like all of that was not just, we didn't have access, it was working backwards, and unfortunately, you weren't in the stage that you could really help with much. But A year
My
on?
wife
She became head
come
of
in
payroll.
and help and like she turned up to her first work meeting with Phil with
days.
a notepad and pen because she's a teacher.
Right.
Phil obviously was like, "Where's your
Rinsed
laptop?" And she was like, "I haven't got one. I've got this is my laptop."
She's got a ruler, but no.
Yeah.
No way to rely.
pen
She's
and
a
notepad.
primary school teacher. She just turned up with a pencil case and a colourful notepad and a glitter pen. I was like,
That's so beautiful. Though. That's so beautiful.
I was like, you got the computer laptop? She went, oh yeah, like this. And she's like, I don't know how to turn it on. It's just like, oh my god, we're at square zero right now.
like,
How did you guys get, like, what did you do in that situation? Because it's like...
Well, like we said, we're not a top heavy business.
That right?
Yeah. We have one owner, sat there.
Yep.
We have one, I don't know, ops manager,
Yeah.
ops, whatever our role is, then me. Then we have the GM at the restaurant. So there's very few steps between kind of the restaurant and the top. There's like a middle, which is kind of me. So...
And I think in one thing, I think it becomes a feature of why people want to work here. So like if the chef has a problem, he comes down on a Monday morning when I'm here and says, "Oh, please, can I have this?" Or "Can I have this? I need help with this. Can I need help with money? I need this." But you get to speak to the owner. So like, "Oh, my family's this," and he understands I've got family. So we empathize with that massively. Like they're the reason that we get to spend time with our families, right? The guys that work on the weekends. So we understand that and we appreciate that. And whenever they need something, we do it. If they need like finance help, if they need time off or whatever, we're there, we'll do it. Right?
There's a lot of empathy in this place.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can feel that.
Yeah,
Like,
do you know,
empathy from everything is like, even when I came, it's just...
no one's here for money. Like everyone gets paid well. Like everyone's well looked
life,
after.
right?
Yeah.
Everybody comes here because they want to come here. Everyone works here because they enjoy being here.
Work to live kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Do you know what?
Interesting.
The staff are here. They're getting paid to basically have a night out. They're getting paid to socialise. Like we said, they won't sit at your table, join that table, have a laugh, be part of that table, join in. Like
my daughter works here now.
Yeah.
And my son actually, but my daughter.
and your
Can't
wife.
get her, and my wife. Well, she's done
No, she's quit.
My daughter, you can't get her to take time off.
No.
Like she's doing a dissertation at university and she won't take time off. She was like, I can't. So she's going to take a weekend off in a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was like, you
She's
need
got a
to
week
take
off.
take both off. We've got an opportunity to take both. No, I can't. I can't be out of it for 2 weeks. She says, I get to come, I get to see my friends and I get to listen to music. She likes the playlist.
Yeah, the place is sick.
Yeah, the
So-
Saturday night she takes over all of a sudden, and you wouldn't expect it of her. Like you meet her, you would not expect it. All of a sudden, this garage hits start kicking. Like, let's
Yeah.
put this on, and she's like, "Oh, it was me." And she's like the politest, sweetest person. All of a sudden, these garage bangers are flying out on the side light. You're like, "Who is this?" So
It's mad. How's the stroke changed you, like in good ways, bad ways?
I want to say I worry a lot more, but I know I worried. If I remember, I know I worried a lot about things before. I think gratefulness, gratitude.
Yes.
One for coming out of it. Where I said to you about my core principles about persistence, I would say a probably more grotesque word to describe how I act. A persistence would be stubborn.
just
Like,
How you?
like I almost
How are you stubborn? Like, talk,
like just like when there was a period that felt like I owned Phil like too much, right?
yeah.
Like too much. There was a period when I was like after the stroke that I was told I couldn't walk,
Oh, good.
and they wanted me to go on to another rehab place and went to help me with my physical development or physical recovery. And I said to the physio, the doctors and physios were incredible, by the way. I said to the physio, what have I got to do to get out of here? I need to get out of here. I have to go. I need to get back to work. I need to get back to my family. I've got to. How do I get out of here? You've got to be able to do stairs. And in that time, I said, take me to the stairs. I want to go stairs now. Take me there now. And she was like, I don't know if we can find something that you can manage. I went, don't worry, I'll do the main stairs and I'll take me to the main stairs.
Wait, and so this was how far out of from like how ahead of you were?
So like,
What should you have been doing at that stage? Just
I
like,
shouldn't be going to the stairs.
well, do you know?
I was
Do you know
just
like
taking a couple of steps.
the
I
rehab
should
where
be
you
going
went
to the
to?
toilet on my own. No, I should be going to the toilet with help. But I was like, take me to the stairs. Like I shut up the arm of a nurse. I was like, take me to the stairs right now. I'm going to the stairs. And I'd done the main stairs in the hospital, so straight away.
I've got goosebumps.
I remember coming to see you.
That's a life. That's a lesson for everyone. Just take the stairs.
Yeah. And
So many of us just don't take the stairs.
And like, I just in my head now, I'm thinking, fuck you, stairs. I'm doing you.
Yes.
And they were talking about stubbornness and persistence. Like, I'm doing these stairs. Like, they were getting calls from a physical rehab brain hospital to be able to take me there and create a bed, create a space and a bed for me. And I was like, I need to get out of it. I need to go. How do I get out of it? And she was like, you're gonna have to somehow
Climb the stairs.
And then I was like, take me to the stairs now. I'm going to the stairs.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah. And the lady, the physio took me to the stairs, and I was like, I'm doing this.
Yeah. How many do I need to do?
Then they let you out.
Yes, it's a couple of days. Well, Phil had to help me get my house ready. My house was under refurb at home.
It just started the whole loft conversion, a whole gutted the house.
I was like, Phil, please let me get home. I need the stairs done. So she let me out after I'd done them stairs.
Yeah, that was it.
What a perfect way to end such a wonderful conversation. But I think it's in everything you guys have done. It's take the stairs, and it's take the harder route, take the scary route, take the thing that scares you the most.
Take the scary route and the harder route. The way we do our chicken, the way we do our potatoes, like
it's the hardest way.
It's the hardest way.
It'd be so nice to open a bag and just chuck them in the fryer, but I just don't want to shortchange customers with rubbish chips. Like, I don't want to chuck.
And you want to do a good job in the morning, right?
You get places buy breaded chicken. You don't want to give out shit. You want to be proud of the product you serve. It takes a lot more.
And even
when
we go to the events and the festivals, the reason why people come to the restaurant, because when they go to the event and they see the food where they're getting the event, because the core principles don't change. We're still hand breading chicken and still hand cutting chips at the event in a field, which is a nightmare to get a farmer to deliver to a field where they brought it from and have to deal with that. So do the hard one. Take the stairs.
Yeah.
Phil, absolute joy.
Pleasure, mate.
Absolute joy, man.
Thanks so much for the copy.
Thank you so much. That was sick. Wicked. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you're loving the episode. I'd appreciate a really small yet significant favor, por favor. Please may you click the subscribe button, get in the comments, tell me what you think about the episode, tell me what you think we did on the show. It may not seem much, but it really helps us grow and helps us get bigger guests. Thank you so much.